Hey friends, so we're going to go out into the garden to do a harvest, a basket harvest, kind of harvest. As well, very first purple king bean. I'm just going to clip my hair up now because it's hot. The plants are all droopy because it's the heat, they're not dead. It's going to be hotter tomorrow, 42 degrees tomorrow, so I definitely want to get out there and harvest a lot of things that we got at the moment. And I also got a lot of zucchinis in my fridge that need to come out of the fridge, so we'll go through a process of that to preserve it for in the freezer with the zucchinis. But these harvest baskets I got them from the up shop, so we got little one if we just need like some beans or something. But my mission, which I think is going to be pretty easy, is to fill up this larger one. So I'm excited to take this out into the garden. Do have this one as well. I don't think that one's going to be needed, so they can go back up. But yeah, let's go and get this basket filled up.
I normally come out in the garden on a daily basis, but I did not go out 2 days before this day, so I was quite shocked at some of the zucchinis that I found in here.
Okay, so just purely because of the heat, this is why these are all very droopy. They will perk back up once it cools off and I give them a water. There's lots of ants on this one though, which is strange. I haven't had that happen before. So for this plant, which is one of the gold yellow types, either gold rush or golden, I can't remember. That's all we got there. I'm just going to leave it down there though because of the ants. This one's perfect. First one for our basket. Got two here. So now with this Lebanese plant, as you can see, this plant is extremely tiny. I thought this was going to die completely. We have produced a Lebanese. There is a few in here that just died off. I think the plant's just way too little. This is also generally way too little, but for a plant of this size, the fact that it still produced and gave us a zucchini is incredible. And this is still going to be great. This is fully mature zucchini, just tiny. But for a plant this size that I really thought was going to die, I'm so happy. Right over here we got a mature Lebanese zucchini bush, and there's some on there for us to get today too.
So here you can really see the size difference between the two plants. What I'm getting right now is the Lebanese zucchini from the mature plant, and the immature plant that I just got that other Lebanese zucchini from is in the left corner of the screen here. And you'll see as well with me picking the zucchinis, I am brushing them with my hand. That just helps to remove the spiky kind of outer fuzz that they do tend to have.
Also, just while I got the camera set up where the tomatoes are, look at the abundance of these tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes. This is the one bush that I just let nature do its thing. If it wanted to produce flowers at such a very young immature plant, I just let it go. Look at all of these tomatoes, so many, but unfortunately that plant is tiny. And I don't want to forget about this one. I thought maybe the ants have calmed down a bit. Brush them off. Alright. So in total we got 3 of the golden variety. So in total we have 3 goldens and 3 Lebanese. Alright, we're now going to take these 2 pots of leeks. I think that was an ant. And dump out the soil and harvest all of these leeks. Alright, just tipping out these pots, you can just smell the aroma. Absolutely wonderful. So, a lot of roots, a lot of roots. So I'm just going to break them apart. All this soil, perfectly good. You can go into this space, we'll use it next season. That's why I'm doing it over where a growing season is. Look at all these roots. I think I'm definitely going to trim them up, hose them off, everything like that before I'm adding them to my basket and bring them inside. That's incredible. That is incredible. And all these roots and these papers is just going to be added like compost kind of material. So I'm just going to drop them down here and they can just decompose in place. And it's just going to be good for the soil for next season. Right.
My goodness, the aroma from these leeks were probably the most strongest scented thing that I've grown. It just smelled absolutely incredible. Here I'm just dusting the dirt off and everything like that, and I was setting them off to the side because then I was going to come along with the scissors and cut the roots off. I didn't realize that the roots were pretty not that tough, like pretty simple to remove just by my hand. So I kind of did double handle the leeks here, but yeah, I didn't realize how weak, well not weak, but how soft the roots actually are. You can kind of see here, I decided to like try to clip them and they're kind of tough, and then I realized just pulling them with my hand was a lot quicker. So if I knew that from the start, this project would have been done by now, but that's okay. And all this excess dirt and the roots and everything, that's just going to add into this garden section. There's nothing growing here right now, but there will be next season, and that's just going to add in some extra nutrients in preparing of that soil.
Okay, now we're in some shade. Ooh, that's a big bird. Silverbeet. I'm going to get some for dinner tonight. If you can see here as well, my coriander is bolting. It's not going to be tasty anymore. I'm not going to pull it out. I'm going to let it keep bolting, come to seed. We're going to harvest the seed and use it as the spice. So coriander grew great. Very short-lived plant, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's still there, but we're going to get some Silverbeet. Just kind of rip off a few leaves.
So with the Silverbeet, it's kind of more mature now, so it's a lot easier just to snap off and rip off, where when it was younger and the first few harvests I was doing to this plant, I definitely had to cut it off because it was so fresh and young. But I feel like it's got a good root system now. I can just rip it off. I'm mostly just checking over for bugs. I haven't seen any bugs, but a few leaves have had like little bug bite holes into it. The whole leaf is still fine to eat. I just obviously checking the bug because I don't want to bring the bugs inside, and I didn't find any bugs.
And an update for these bean trellis. The most exciting thing of today's harvest is our beans. So this is the second lot of beans that I planted later on. So around here is where we've got some beans ready to harvest that I know of. There might be some more hidden, but she is climbing up high, which is fantastic. I'm gonna have to try and find somewhere roughly around here. There's three, yeah, here they are. 3 beans, massive beans. Oh, they grow so fast. So we've got 3 here right in this spot that I know that we'll get today, and I'll have a good look and see if we can find any more. Honestly, I hope I got the camera okay. I don't think I do. Hopefully, hope this is okay for the first bean harvest. So I think, yeah, there we go. Woo! Oh, it's just a flower bud. I thought it was a bloody bug coming at me. Oh my gosh, these are massive. So these are the purple king beans. Look at that. Like, my whole hand is this bean. Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh, look at the colour in that. Wow. Oh my goodness. My goodness, look at this basket of goodies. I am so happy. This is exactly what I've been wanting for so long. I've envisioned this and it's happening. It could be fuller. There's a lot of empty gaps, to be honest, but it's full enough and I am absolutely stoked with it. Beans as well. We ended up getting 7 beans. So that's so fun. I love it. I love it. Right, so. Oh, Luna wants the leeks, huh? You ain't getting it. Sorry, you ain't getting it. Plan with the zucchinis, they can sit out for 24 hours and then I like to put them in the fridge, but the ones in the fridge have to get, processed. I know you want them. Oh no. The leeks, I'm going to chop. We'll do this now. We'll do this first because it's the messiest. We'll get them chopped, we'll get them washed, we'll get them dried, like just air dried, the water dried off of them, bagged up and in the freezer. I know for a fact I want to make a traditional classic chicken and leek pie. Making pie crust from scratch. Luna's meowing, she just wants to play with the leeks. I think the aroma for these leeks are so strong. She can definitely, I don't know if it's the scent or just like these bits is what she wants, but I'm obviously not giving it to her, so she's crying for them. Aren't you, baby? You're crying for them. I'm sorry. But I don't know when I'm going to make the pie. Originally, my plan was to harvest this, wash them up, have them already dusted up just so it's easier, make the pie tomorrow. It's 42 degrees Celsius tomorrow. I ain't making anything tomorrow, so... And then I'm going to be busy for a few days and I don't want these to come to waste. So we're just going to get them in the freezer straight up. These beans, we'll get them cooked with our dinner tonight. Like I said, these zucchinis can just sit here. And the silverbeet we'll go chop up and have, the silverbeet we can also chop up and have with our dinner tonight. So the silverbeet I'm going to steam. I gifted some silverbeet to my mum and she says she's just steamed it. To be honest, I might even just chuck the beans in with the steamer. I might even just chuck in some zucchini that we have in the fridge already. To have like steamed veggies, mashed potato, chicken, gravy, peas. I'm dying for some like regular garden peas, frozen peas. So I brought a bag. Then we're going to have some peas. Yeah, so that's dinner. I'm not making dinner on camera. Dinner's not going to be till probably 1 in the morning. But that's okay. That's just my next work schedule and life schedule. So yeah, I'm not going to film dinner, but that's just letting you guys know what I am doing with this produce.
So starting with the leeks, because I thought they were going to be definitely the most messiest and dirtiest, which they were, but there was a lot less mess than what I was expecting. So here I'm just showing that I'm just going to be cutting off the ends, the root end, and putting that into my compost bowl, and then the darker green leafy stuff that's still completely edible, but I don't want too much of it. That's just personal preference, especially the tops where it is starting to die off and brown off and get a little limp. But all of these bits that I'm cutting off that I'm not going to be using is all going to get composted, so it's still going to be good for the garden anyway. These are the zucchinis that I had in my fridge for about a week. They had to get used up. They were starting to get a bit soft, and I just want to measure these 2 zucchinis because this green skin zucchini I had in my fridge was definitely the biggest zucchini I've harvested this year, but then I thought maybe this yellow golden zucchini might have beaten it, but I don't know, it's hard to tell on which one's bigger. I should have actually weighed them both, but just going by the eye in looks, it is very hard to see or to tell which one was actually bigger, but it's still great fun anyway. It doesn't really matter which one was bigger or not, it's just all great fun. The leeks ended up getting washed and I just got them on paper towel to dry. I need to invest in a salad spinner actually, that would be a lot more handier for this project. The silver beets, you can eat the stem, the whole plant is edible. I just don't like the texture. The last few times I have cooked with the silver beet, I did use a stem. I've tried it in a pie, I've tried it by itself. I'm just not a fan of the texture of the stem personally. So again, that is going to get composted, and the leafy greens is the part that I'm going to be cooking up for Nick and I to eat. And then with Lebanese zucchini, I'm just dicing that up. So these vegetables I am steaming. The leeks is going to get frozen for a different project at a later date. But here I'm just getting my dinner prepared, as well as these purple king beans. I was just slicing them through, and I was actually shocked that they're still green in the inside. I was not expecting these beans to be green. I don't know what I was expecting, but I just thought it was kind of cool. Also, another cool little side note to the purple king beans, if you've never grown them yourself before or you've never cooked with them before, when they're cooked, they go back to green. To be honest, that was a little disappointing. I would have preferred like that purple color on the plate, but either way, they were absolutely delicious. It tasted just like a regular bean, like a regular green bean, and they end up looking like a regular green bean in the end as well. Here I got like this julienne slicer, and this is just all I use to shred my zucchini. You can grate it if you prefer.
So I got a regular just sandwich Ziploc bag for the Leeks. I'm going to be using the Leeks within a week, so I'm not going to use my proper, nicer, better quality Ziploc bags. They're not labeled as freezer safe. Oh, they might actually be on the box, but they're not like in big white writing say freezer, whereas these ones are. They're still freezer safe. They're still perfectly fine. The smaller sandwich size ones and the snack size ones. But with these zucchinis, we are going to push out the air, seal it up, and then flatten this out just so it's nice and flat. And this way it's just easier to stack up in the freezer if it's flat, and then I will be cooking this frozen, so I can just snap a piece off. I do want to weigh it. I got one bag already in the freezer, which is exactly 900 grams. Balance that up. Wow, 838 grams. Freezing my homegrown produce, I'd want it in the freezer for about a year's worth. So in my case, for these size bag of zucchini, around the 800 to 900 gram mark. I think my goal is to get 10 of them. This is now my second bag. As well as we're eating them fresh whenever we want as well. So I'm not like, no, we can't eat them. I need to freeze them. So we're definitely eating them fresh. If I were to can the zucchini or anything home produce wise, so when the tomatoes start coming in, a lot of that's going to end up being canned projects. So if I'm going through the effort of canning it, I would want it to last on my shelf for 2 years. So I'll try and get 2 years worth. These Leeks, like I said, I'll be using within this next week, so I'm not too worried about them being in the freezer. That's why they're in this bag. I'm actually kind of curious to see how much weight we got from these Leeks. They're small, they smell absolutely phenomenal, and they're going to be tasty. We already tasted some Leeks before. We made a pie. I got that video down below actually, if you want to see that. I'll link that down below. But yeah, doing like your traditional chicken and leek pie, oh, yum. I'm so excited for that. So that video will be coming out soon. Let me get the air out of this for you. I'll do that. So Leeks, 117 grams worth of Leeks. But you know what? That's great. Still stoked with that. They're gonna now go into the freezer, and that's going to be all for this video. Why is this camera so wonky? Oh, I don't know, I'll figure that out later. But that's all for today's video anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming out and harvesting. I mean, it's not as full anymore, but I still got my zucchinis in here, which is actually kind of cute, so I'm glad I got this. I'm going to put that over on that side of my kitchen, technically my dining area. We don't have like a dining table, it's too small. So I can sit over there. So now I'm not going to have zucchinis curing. That's my process with zucchinis, by the way. I just let them out for about 24 to 48 hours, and then I put them in the fridge, and then after they're in the fridge for probably about a week, if they don't get eaten, then I do exactly what I just done now. Shred them up and stuff like that. And yeah. So although we harvested these zucchinis, and I could have used a freshly harvested one for tonight's dinner, I would prefer to use the Lebanese one we already had in the fridge. Which, speaking of, look how cute this actually ended up looking like with the beans on top. Oh, you know what? let's do a raw bean taste test. I'm just curious. I'm going to do a younger one, I think. So, the size difference. This one was obviously much, and I thought I'd get some younger ones. They're very slightly green still on them. The length wasn't much different, but the bean size is obviously quite different. I'm just curious to know what they taste like raw. I don't like raw peas, raw beans. So I'm probably not going to like this, but I'm still just so curious to taste it. Oh no. Oh, it smells like dirt. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh. Huh. Oh. Ugh. The initial taste, that's gone back. It's only me and Nick are going to be eating this, so I can go back in there. I'm sure that's going to be absolutely delicious cooked, but raw veggies like that, just not it for me. The initial taste, I was shocked. I was like, that's actually very, it wasn't sweet, but it was just so fresh. It tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like. How to like, it wasn't sweet, it wasn't tart, it wasn't sour, it wasn't anything. It was just fresh and like a nice crisp, like crisp crunch. But, ugh. Even now the aftertaste just tastes like raw dirt. But anyway, that's all for today's video. So if you ended up sticking around, I know it's like this outro, but if you stuck around, then congratulations, you just saw me witnessing trying my bean raw, which was, yeah, I'm sure they'll be delicious cooked. If I had like a regular green bean that I know I love cooked, I'm probably going to have the same reaction. But yes, thank you so much for giving this, what am I on about? Thanks so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. I need some sleep. I need to go out and water. I'm going to water and I'm going to relax and then we'll do dinner. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.